Hi guys, welcome to the Networkers Home channels, and we are come back with the SD-WAN series. In the previous first video, we discussed about the SD-WAN concept. Let's say what is the SDN things and what is the SD-WAN things, and then we also discuss about some technical point with the why we require SD-WAN, and then we also set up the lab topology we create in front of you only. Okay, so I can show all the thing from the scratch. So topology is ready, and let's start our first practical. So you can see here vManage or vSmart or vBond. As I told you, the brief explanation, device is already started. Okay. So when you're starting the device for the first time, I will suggest, okay, for the first time when you are starting the device, you need to make sure that you also open the console on the spot. See here, I already opened the console just for showing you this process booting. Okay. If I start in front of you, then as I told you, it's a heavy device. So it will take some time. So that time I don't want to use in your video. So I already started that, and this kind of process and notification you need to wait. Okay, it's not exactly same line number. Line number may be different, but at the last it should be what system ready. Okay, there are before this also. Let's see if I press here enter, you can see the login screen. This kind of login screen before this also visible before this. If you start on the spot, like what sometime some minor click difference. So you will see before this also there is a login option, but you are not able to log in. If you try to log in there, you will maybe get error like authentication fail or authentication not success, or let's say what authentication incorrect. In that case, the most chances is what that your vManage is started, your CLI is visible, but the backend process for the login service still not started. So in that case, you need to wait for this. If you get the system ready message, then try to log in. So here I'm login here, by default username admin, and by default password also admin. And because of security reason, they also directly telling okay, set up the new password. Okay. So here I'm putting here normal password, then it will not work. This I already tried multiple times, so it's a directly concluded video. Okay, you need to use some capital, small, special character, common password policy, more than 8 character kind of thing. You can use small also, but not suggested as a real scenario. So here I try to use that kind of complex password with the capital, small, special character, and confirm the password. Then you can see it is asking for the compute data or compute. Now what if there is a bigger topology, not like this only 2 3 branch, like I told in the first video also, there is maybe multiple branch, and all branch load, let's say this one we manage not able to handle, then it will take second we manage, third we manage, depends. So in that case, you also divide the we manage according to role, not just like first and second primary secondary, but as a role. In that case, you can use one vManage only for the data management and one vManage for the computing process management. So that you can do. But here, this one vManage is enough for this topology, what we have right now. Later, even will increase for one or two more branch, let's say 5 6 branch overall. Then also, this vManage not get that much load. So here I will use first option, that this one single vManage for the compute and data both. Otherwise, you can keep two only for data, another vManage for compute, or these only for compute, another for data if there is a very heavy load with the 10 20 or 30 branch and one vManage not enough. Here in our case, let's press 1, enter. Now what it asking, that you choose persona. Okay, that like what role, that is compute and data. And remember, wherever you use for the data, then you require extra storage. Normally what, as a each device there is a RAM, processor, hard disk, or you can say storage. So every device have one storage, common thing. But vManage is a heavy device with the graphical use case. There are lots of software and GUI thing is there. So they keeping a separate external storage for the data. External in the case is not like a actually external like USB, okay, like we have in the laptop, but secondary hard disk, secondary storage. And for that it is asking, okay, that you are confirming this. So by chance, if let's say if by mistake you press 1, you can change here. Otherwise, if you confirm yes, and then you can see it asking for storage. Okay, now in this case, one small thing you need to understand, the naming concept. If you already familiar with the Linux, it's become easy for you. Otherwise, just try to understand here. In the Linux, they are using SD for the solid drive, HD for the hard drive, and VD for the virtual drive. Okay, the name I'm talking here. So if you have, let's say, solid drive like SSD and everything, then you will find SD. If you have normal hard disk, then HD. Now in that also, let's say you have multiple hard disks. Then what? SD1, SD2, same way. Normal hard disks. HD1, HD2, and after that, VD for virtual disks. VD1, VD2. Okay. But now what? Understand. If you have idea about partition, then what? Then it will use this way. VDA, VDB for the partition. And you can see here VDB. Getting it? So whatever the first hard disk already this vManage have, that is counting as a virtual disk A. And now it is telling there is a second hard disk available for VDB, that is 100 GB I given here. It's up to you. But normally recommendation is 100 GB size. You can use more like 110 GB, 120 GB, 150 depend on your requirement. But 100 GB recommended. So it is a VDB. And there is another thing also with the 0 GB. No meaning. Okay. So as it's depend on image. What kind of other image and what kind of other storage they supporting. So here I want to use one number. So let's press 1 here and continue. And again confirming, by mistake you press like that, then we just UI. So now it's processing. Okay, you can see here 800 total different tables they are creating. So it's kind of hardware thing. If you have idea, well and good. Otherwise, just wait for the process. No need to do anything here. Just wait for the another login screen. And while this is processing, let me clear guys that for this vManage, right now we are talking about the version that is 20.9, the whatever the running latest right now, that, and in there also 0.4.1, this is the exact version we are using for vManage. If anyone already having some less resources and using the 19 series, like in the 19 again multiple possibility where 19.2.3 is famous. So if you are using this, then what we are doing here, that kind of option you will not get. In that older version, we have directly one vManage with the common role. There is no separate for the compute or data, which I explain here. Okay. So if you are using these, then no need to do these all steps. What I just done, you just need to go forward and you just need to wait for the login screen. But system ready message should be there. Okay, not the normal login screen. You can see here also. That's why I just keep the screen in front of you. Just wait. You will find the normal login screen. And on that time, you're not able to log in until you get the system ready message. That is common for 19 series also, 20 series also, even for the more older. Okay. 21 right now we don't have, otherwise you can discuss that also, but latest 20 is there. Okay. So now what? The last thing I want to tell, this thing. You can see here VDA2, like I told you the numbering 1, 2, 3. So this kind of thing also keep in your mind. So you will get the idea that what you are looking for, what you just configure, that processing well or not. Okay, then it is now recovering the journal. So normal process, but just remember that pass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this kind of thing. So what? Next time, let's say you are doing process wherever your vManage by chance stuck somewhere, you can also put in the comment that sir, that pass 1 is clear, or pass 2 or 3 clear, pass 4 it will stuck, or pass 3 it will stuck. So I can help you in that. Right now, just wait for the process. And this I'm talking guys, login screen. Let me try to log in, admin and new password. I just do the hurry because I want to show this. You can see what you are getting. Login incorrect. I did not type the wrong password. Okay. Otherwise, you will find password incorrect or authentication failure. It's telling login incorrect. That means what? Login process still not started. Like I told you in the beginning of this practical, that if you just see the login screen, don't try to log in on the spot. Wait for the system ready message. And remember guys, this point is actually important because lots of different videos also analyze, and in lots of different actual training also, where people directly keep ready the vManage and they start directly vManage practical for the graphical thing and everything. Or let's say there is an initial command is showing, but this booting process I did not find anywhere. So I thought, okay, let's create the video from this point only. You can see guys, It's timeout. No worry. It's timeout because what they are expecting the login, but we not type because even we type, it will not allow. Wait for the system ready. You can see guys that same thing what I showed in the beginning. If anyone remember, in the beginning this kind of same notification is there and then system ready message. So that is now about to finish. You can see here also that same kind of message and system ready. Just press one more enter to see the login, username, password, and that's it guys. You can see your vManage is ready. Now you are able to log in. So remember guys, system ready message. Okay. Second thing also there, I will show you once that notification comes. But before that, you can see it's showing last login when the fail or successful. Welcome to the Viptela and admin connected with the IP. So this is common notification just for the greeting like welcome. Now what? You can check directly this one command, request NMS application server and status. What is this? This is the status of the application server which is showing you that graphical service start or not. So you can see graphical service actually enable but right now not running and it is in the waiting status. So guys remember, as I again tell you, it's a little heavy device. So if you are giving enough RAM like 16 GB for single this days, not overall topology, only this device 16 GB RAM, or let's say more smoother, then you can use 32 GB RAM only for this single device, then it will start within few seconds. Okay. Otherwise here it will take time. You just need to wait for the status. Once this will start, then you will able to access graphical thing also. But right now for any configuration in CLI, we no need to wait. Okay. Our config will do right now. So here what you need to understand now, three common thing you need to understand for the SD-WAN concept, that vManage, vSmart and vBond, all three controller device, one side they will keep VPN 512 and one side they will keep VPN 0. Okay. Now what is this? VPN 0 in the SD-WAN concept is just kind of dividing thing. If you have idea about Cisco things, then there is a VRF kind of thing. Here it's a VPN. It's not a typical VPN what we learn like IPsec and everything. It is also there. But right now what I'm just telling this VPN in the context of what dividing. In this all controller, there is a two VPN. One is for firewall, which is mostly connected to local network side, which is accessed by the admin, so that we can access this device, we can control this device, we can configure this device. While after our configuration on this device, how that device manage the other branches. For the centralized management, they are going to connect with VPN 0. Okay. So these two things you need to remember. So first our focus is what? Let's configure the VPN 512 so that this interface we can configure and we can access graphically. Okay. Now for that, one more point you need to understand that according to Cisco, maybe you have idea that we are configuring IP address separately. Then we are configuring subnet mask, or you can say no shutdown. Okay. And then what? Separately outside from the interface in the global config mode, you are configuring IPsec, or you can say VPN. So here these steps is little in different sequence. According to SD-WAN, what we have? First, we have directly VPN in the global config mode. We need to specify this VPN 0 or 512. We no need to configure this from the scratch. It's already available. Like if we take switch example, VLAN 1 is already there. Okay, same way in this all controller, VPN 0 and 512 already there. Okay, so we just need to type this VPN 0 command, and inside that we can make a interface as a member, or let's say we can type VPN 512 command and inside that we can make interface as a member. So that one point you need to remember. Just as a concluding what I'm telling, as a normal Cisco device, first you configure the interface and separately VPN. Here VPN is there. Inside the VPN you make a interface as a member. For the reference, you can take again VLAN example, that first you create a VLAN outside in the global mode, Then you go to the interface and make a member. Same way here, VPN outside global and make a member. Okay. So you can see guys here, other process is going on as I told you before few seconds that there is one more notification I want to show you. Just wait. Okay. So while that notification coming, let's configure the VPN 512. So I can take you to the configure terminal. Same thing like a Cisco, but only this command is common. After that, what all command is little different. I'm not saying 100% different. It's a Viptela created command, but now merge with the Cisco. So some similarity, some still different. So here you can type VPN 512 directly. And see guys, this I'm actually waiting for the notification. Okay, this is my command VPN 512 I type. But see this, setting up the watches and watches established. What is this? This is giving you the idea, this two notification. Okay, generally it will be visible this way. Let me use the notepad. Generally, obviously, it's visible this way in single alignment. But here I'm typing the command during that the service started. So you see this way. So this is the notation giving you the idea that graphical service start processing. It's ready or not, we'll check that, but start processing. Okay. So let's come back. Then I will show you configuration. Exit, exit, and again run that command. NMS status. Can you see guys? Enable true previously. That same command and enable false. Status is waiting. Here enabled and true. Yes, it's running. And status you can see process ID given. And few seconds when this notification came, on that time process started. So now let's configure thing. Configure terminal, VPN 512, and then interface. Okay. So now you can see here interface what we have. Ethernet 0, Ethernet 1. For the management side, I keep the Ethernet 0. So what you can do? Interface Ethernet 0. Okay. Then IP address. This command is same, but slight different. Like what? Here you can see this is my management network 30 series. Okay. Same I will use 192.168.30. So I can access the internal vManage from my computer. And here I'm giving the IP number, let's say 1. Then generally we are doing this 255.255.0/24. But here we have direct /24. And then no shutdown. Now remember one more thing guys here. This whole thing command running here, but it's not apply. If again you compare with the Cisco thing, then what? The command I'm typing here IP address configure and no shutdown configure. So you will get the notification like interface up and everything. Because whenever you type the command on the spot apply, while here it's required separately commit. You can see if I commit that, then only there is a saving option. Okay. There is one other thing also I want to show intentionally, like what? VPN 0 interface is there and VPN 5 also there. So it is telling that right now both VPN are trying to use Ethernet 0. So for that, let me take you to the end. Now it's telling that whatever you configure it did not commit. Do you want to commit them? No, I don't want to commit. This is intentionally, okay guys, for you to understand that if you directly try to configure, it's not like normal Cisco device, just go to the interface, configure anything. Here, there are some already configured thing. As I told you, VPN 0 also there, 512 also there. So what we'll do? So interface description. Here we have this command like show IP interface brief. Here show interface description, and you can see Ethernet 0 and 1 both are part of VPN 0. Okay. So what we'll do? Again, go to the configure terminal. First, I need to go to VPN 0. Remove this interface. No interface Ethernet 0. Exit. Then VPN 512. Interface Ethernet 0. And now you can configure the IP. IP address, same command. Then /24. No shutdown. And now commit. And you can see commit complete. Previously also same command I typed, but intentionally I show you that if you try to configure directly, it is giving error that telling what Ethernet 0 try to use by both VPN. So what I done here, I remove from the VPN 0. Then I go to the VPN 512. This is space error. Okay, ignore that. Here I type again interface Ethernet 0, IP address and commit. Now go outside and again just check that service status one more time. Just for understanding, guys, for the beginner, it's very important. So you can see again true, process ID and running. So now it is there, and also you can check so interface description. So you can see, guys, this time Ethernet 0 in the 512. Previously Ethernet 0 in the VPN 0. So now we make a member here and IP also there. So let's try to ping first of all from our windows. You can see, guys, I am reachable if this ping is there and also service is running, this service. Then what? From the browser, you try to open that 192.168.30.1 and you will see this way because right now it's locally and by default HTTPS. So if it is local, then your browser not able to verify the circuit. So it's telling that it is not private. But if we know it's our topology, we can go to the advanced and proceed. And this is your console for SD-WAN. Username, what you configure. Then password, what you configure. Login. So for the first time, it will take time. Okay. It's a graphical thing. So first time it will take time. But this is your first simple practical that bring up the SD-WAN graphical part so you can configure all the thing properly. So we take the topology, this device, and from there also this side thing we configure with the VPN 512 for the management and VPN 0 for the public connectivity for the transport VPN. So that whole thing also we discuss in the detail step by step. Right now just wait for this login. So I can show you the dashboard. Login screen already you see. And whatever timing here, every time not that, okay? Only for the first time it will generate all the graphical service and you know that browser will check the cookies and everything. So see guys, your console is visible. There are some error also that is common because we just started, we not configure anything. So it is telling that organizer's name is not there and there is no license things. Would you want to connect your smart account? All thing you can ignore or remind me later. And this is your dashboard guide. Right now all things 000. No worry, we'll also configure these things step by step in the next video. Right now in this video, we just bring up the vManage graphical part. I hope you like that and stay tuned in the next video. So we can configure this vManage, then vSmart, vBond, and we'll bring up entire topology. Thank you.